Alright guys, it's spoiler time, so we thought we'd talk about a few of the Midnight Hunt spoilers that have been shown so far. For Commander, for some other formats, we've picked a few of them that we just want to talk about. So let's get right into it with Wrenn 7. It's the one that everyone seems to be talking about because it seems really strong.
Well, that and everyone was confused because they didn't realize that Wrenn and 6 didn't go places together.
Yeah. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Wrenn is the guy, and he names the tree folk that he is with. Or numbers them, rather. And 6 was dying. So when he went to Innistrad, he found 7.
We all want to see 1 through 5. I know.
Yeah, I really want Wrenn in 1.
Right.
Maybe it'll be a 1-drop. It'd be better than Wrenn 6. Because Wizards doesn't know how to make good cards that aren't insane anymore.
Quit hating on Wizards. For like 12 seconds.
I don't hate them, I just don't know that they're good anymore.
Do you want to talk about this card before we get banned from ever playing Magic ever again?
Probably. So, 3 green, 5 loyalty, Planeswalker Wrenn. +1, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all lands revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. 0, put any number of lands from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. -3, create a green tree folk creature token with reach, and this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control.
I'm so excited about that.
And -8, return all permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size.
Also excited about that. No maximum hand size in green. Are you...
It's happened a few times.
Yes, but also tokens.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are talking about this for the 0 effect.
Right.
Being able to just dump all of your lands into play.
So many landfall triggers.
I am not as hyped for this card as I think most people are. Mostly because it costs 5.
Is that the only bad thing you have to say about it?
Yeah, it is.
It does what green does.
Yeah. I think it's cool in Commander. Probably gonna helm an Oathbreaker deck.
Or 7.
Yeah, or several. Probably see some standard play, honestly.
Are there any formats you can't see it in?
I don't see it in any 60 card format other than standard. I think it costs too much and it's a little slow.
Fair enough.
I think the token is cool right when you play it. Like, just play it -3, get the token. It's probably a 5/5 with reach. But also, at 5 mana, it might see historic play, but I think that's too slow for Pioneer and back.
Fair.
But gonna be real sweet in Commander, I think.
For sure. Trostani needs one.
Oh yeah, this is going right in my land stack.
Oh yeah. I'm sure that Bryce will end up putting one in his, I am blanking on the name and I just played against it yesterday.
Gitrog.
Tatiola?
Oh yeah, Tatiola. Yeah, I'm putting this in Gitrog.
I wish he would get I want to build a Gitrog deck. Especially for baby Gitrog.
Alright. Next card to talk about is going to be everyone's favorite angel on Innistrad. And I will hear no arguments, the rest of them are dead. Except for Lysa, but most of them are dead. Everyone's favorite surviving angel, Sagarta. Specifically Sagarta, Champion of Light. 1 green, white, for a 4/4 legendary angel with flying and trample.
Trample!
Humans you control get +1/+1.
Great. More human trample. That's just what we need.
And when it attacks, if you control 3 or more creatures with different power, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a human from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order.
I like that it's the different powers because it's a little different than what you normally see.
Yeah, I really like Coven. I think it's a cool keyword.
Do you think we're going to see more Coven? Or because I didn't see any other spoilers with Coven.
There's a few. It's a mechanic mostly in green-white.
That's fair.
There's some interesting ones. But I think Sagarta is... I'm going to play it in standard a bunch.
Really?
It's going to be so good. It's a 4-mana 4/4 with flying trample.
That's fair.
That does other beneficial things.
Humans.
Yeah.
Boring.
What do you think of it for Commander? Other than you hate it because you
I
don't
don't
like
hate
human
it. I
decks.
don't hate it. I love Selesnya, so I'm good there. The mana cost to power and toughness seems decent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna get ridiculous, if it gets out and immediately dies.
Yeah.
But you're kind of limited to human tribal.
Yeah. I think it could probably see play in a humans deck that already exists, like 5-color humans with Marfon or something. Probably
Right.
plays this.
Right. I'm just saying that if you were to build her as a
Right.
commander, it would need to be a human tribal, or at least be mostly human. Or shapeshifters, obviously, because, changeling.
And I was talking to my friend Ben, who you guys may or may not have seen on gameplay by now. Don't know yet. And we were talking about whether or not it was good enough for Modern, because he plays humans in Modern. And unfortunately, not actually being a human is a big drawback. So I don't think... He's my expert for Modern specifically, and humans even more so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's really going to see Eternal play in Modern or further back. I could see Historic and Pioneer humans picking it up, though. Because they don't have as many... They don't have as many ways to cheat mana, so they might just want it for card advantage.
It's trying to get in here.
Yeah. Sorry if you guys hear that. My cat is trying to get in our shut office.
She's not giving up. We're just gonna have to edit this part out.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
fine.
poor beef.
I do have one complaint.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that my one complaint is that it looks 5 deep. I think on a 4-mana commander, being able to look 5 deep on every attack, theoretically, is a lot and kinda risky.
Do you think they should have kept it with her power, or do you think they should just...
I think either she should probably cost 1 more mana, or that the Coven ability should look 4 deep, probably. Or even 3 deep. But they wanted to push one of the big mythics for the set. I get it. It just kind of makes me nervous.
Or, I mean, a thing that they do a lot is instead of just when it attacks, if she gets through.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was an on-hit effect, and she has trample anyways, so
the chances of her not hitting her.
Yeah, making it an on-hit effect is probably going to solve that problem too. I think the only reason they don't want to make it an on-hit is because then if your opponent does tricks in combat and messes with your creatures, then you don't have Coven necessarily when you add it when you attack.
That's fair.
But
so one of the tribals that needs just a little more help and support is Oozes, so I'm very excited to see consuming Blob. It's a 3 green creature ooze. Kind of surprised it's not legendary, but I get it. Its power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness equal to that number plus 1. So it's always going to be a little harder to hit than it is when it hits. At the beginning of your end step, create a green ooze creature token with this creature's power is equal to the number of card types. So basically the same thing. It just creates itself over and over again.
But copies that can't make more tokens.
Right.
Yeah. So you seem excited for this.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. I don't even have an ooze deck, but I have a token deck, and I'm excited to see how this would work in my token deck.
Okay, so
I don't like that. Okay, so I feel like you're about to ruin things for me.
having tried to play Tarmogoyf in basically every format where Tarmogoyf is legal,
I sold my Tarmogoyf as soon as I pulled it, so...
which is a 2-mana creature with power equal to number of card types in all graveyards, and toughness is equal to that plus 1. It never works in Commander. Your opponents can mess with it. And this, not counting your opponent's graveyard and costing 5 mana, even if it's making tokens that are the same, I'm betting your average is this is a 3-4 that makes a 3-4 every turn.
Okay. But, I don't know, we always do this thing where we're like making bad cards good by using good cards. In Twin Casters, there's other cards that let you turn tokens into other things. So this is guaranteed 1 token per turn. Well, 2, because Twin Casters does the doubly thing. That is something else. So yeah, even if it's only ever a 0/1, because that's the worst that it ever can be, it's still gonna make tokens.
I just think there's better ways. If you need to make a token every turn, try Progenitor Mimic. That's a clone that makes a copy of whatever it's cloning every turn.
Is it expensive?
No. Well, it's 6 mana, but monetarily, no.
I'm gonna write this down later.
Um,
I still feel like this is gonna have a place, because there are people that have Ooze decks.
I'm sure it's great in the Ooze decks. I think it's probably not playable in Commander otherwise. I mean, it's technically playable, and we'll probably see play in tokens decks, but I think it's pretty bad.
It probably would have made its way onto this channel if it hadn't been on a spoiler episode, is what you're saying.
Yeah, give it a couple years, it probably would have made it onto an episode.
Yeah, it's funny, I've been thinking about us doing an episode that is the worst card in each tribe.
I don't think this is the worst Ooze.
I know, but this kind of like goes into that.
As far as 60 card formats go, Tarmogoyf doesn't see play in a lot of 60 card formats, and this is a 5 mana Tarmogoyf. So that, again, doesn't count your opponent's stuff. So
Does Tarmogoyf make lots of them?
No, but those formats are too fast for that to matter.
Okay.
It might see standard play because there was some graveyard stuff in like this previous year's worth of standard. And Innistrad is usually pretty graveyard themed, so there might be some standard decks that play it, but I don't think it's going to see any other 60 card play.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I will be very happy to be wrong about this, because I think the design is really cool, and I love Tarmogoyf, and this puts it in a cooler tribe, but I'm not sold yet.
Oh look, now you can make another Ooze. 2 Blobberts.
Oh boy. No, but for real, I think this is probably the card I'm going to have the most fun with in this set.
I think this is like the card that if nothing else can make it into Twin Casters, this definitely is.
Yeah, so this is Croaking Counterpart. 1 green-blue for a sorcery with flashback for 3 green-blue. And you create a token that's a copy of target non-frog creature, except it's a 1/1 green frog. So, I have a deck that's all about end of battlefield effects. And it is in green, blue, and black. This is going right into Yarok, and it's going to copy some Crater Hoof Behemoths. And then I will have Crater Frog Behemoth.
No, Crater Frog Hemoth.
No, Frog Behemoth's already a thing. And
I know,
in there.
but it's Crater Hoof Frog Hemoth. It's because
That's
it's
all-
a frog and it's a behemoth. It's a frog hemoth. It's Crater Hoof Frog Hemoth.
It's also going to copy Woodfall Primus a few times for some free Vindicates. It'll be so good.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to get better at Magic so I can actually compete with my co-host here.
I think I have like 10
Today
years
is
of
not
Magic
one
on
of
you.
those days. No, yeah, like for sure. I've only been playing like 6 years and none of that's been consistent.
Yeah.
Every time I find a play group, it just poof.
That's why you found me. And the wife.
That's fair. But, flavor text.
Yes, this is best flavor text in the set, and I don't think anything will fight it.
Yeah, we
Are we gonna have...
We don't know yet. We don't know yet. I didn't even look at flavor text on any other cards. I'm not even sure that any of them had flavor text. But this one is just, it's...
Frog is the sincerest form of flattery. My one complaint is that it has to copy non-frog creatures, so you can't make counterpart Gitrogs. I want to make a baby Gitrog.
But there's already Baby Gitrog in the set. Baby Gitrog, baby Gitrog, baby Gitrog, baby Gitrog. I'm gonna build a Get Rug deck one of these days.
Anyways, for 60 card formats, these effects are kind of hit and miss. They usually need a combo of some sort to make them good. Might see play in standard as just a value card. Just like copy your random thing. Outside of that, I think if there's a combo for it, it'll be awesome. If there's not, then it won't see any play.
See, I think my one complaint with it is that it looks like somebody just took Alexander Clamilton, put a light board underneath him, and just traced over it. And it's a frog now.
Well, frog is the sincerest form of flattery.
So this is just the frog version of Alexander Clamilton.
Yeah, I mean, we just frogged him. It's fine.
It's not fine.
This is the card that I think I am willing to reach the farthest for and what I think is playable. I think this is going to make zombies playable in Modern.
It wasn't before?
No. It's close. I think it's missing a little bit of hate that humans and merfolk can get. Not a lot of tribes are really seeing a lot of play in Modern without some kind of gimmick.
Mm-hmm. But I love tribes.
Yeah.
So
But
it's like I shouldn't try Modern.
I think Champion might be enough to push zombies into at least being like a tier 2 deck, just by making them an aggressive deck.
Right.
Which they already were kind of getting towards. So, this is Champion of the Perished, not to be confused with Champion of the Parish. You know, that thing that died to become this.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. In original Innistrad, there was a white version of this. The exact same card, but for humans. And it was Champion of the Parish, and he died.
I love when they do that. Like, that is...
So,
I love when things are for the flavor.
single black for a 1/1 zombie. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of the Perished. You just play him on turn 1 and play zombies, and he gets big.
Yep, he's going to be susceptible to removal, but also don't a lot of the Liliana Planeswalkers make zombie tokens?
Yeah, or support zombies in general. I think you just play him into things like White and Undead Augur, and then your 3-mana Lords, and you just aggro them. And if it doesn't see play in Modern, I was wrong. I'll be a little sad. I'm definitely going to jam it into Historic Zombies, which I already play. I think this is just an aggro card. It's going to be great. Probably not good enough in Commander, but I defer to you on that.
I could see somebody making a zombie travel deck. I don't know what zombie commanders there are, though.
Zombie Commander decks already exist, but they're usually like combo decks, from what I've seen.
Gross.
And so that's why I'm not sure this will see Commander play.
I'm not sure that it won't, though. I mean, even in, we've got that friend that has the tribal deck, where it's all shapeshifters with lords.
Ooh,
This would be good in that.
Yeah.
This would be a great turn 1 play for that, because every single shapeshifter he's playing is technically a zombie.
Yeah. And I've seen Champion of the Parish see Commander play, so I could see this seeing play in a more aggressive zombies Commander deck. Maybe I should build that.
I was about to say, I feel a challenge coming on.
Guys, I think I'm going to try to build Commander Zombies.
I think we're both going to try to build Commander Zombies, and then we'll post a video going head-to-head with our Commander Zombies.
Alright, let's go. This will be fun. Look, I can make the flip cards beatbox.
Religious fanatics unite.
We probably need to talk about Daybound, Nightbound at some point.
Probably. This seems like a good chance, seeing as, you know.
Yeah.
It's here.
And we'll talk about it now, so that when we're talking about the insane werewolf stuff in a bit, we don't have to discuss that first. So, the first time you play any Daybound card, then it will become Day. And that just means that all Daybound, Nightbound cards will enter on their day side. They also enter on their day side if it is neither day nor night. And then if a player casts no spells during their own turn, it becomes night. And then all Daybound, Nightbound cards that are in play when it becomes night will transform to their night side. And anything with Daybound, Nightbound will enter on its night side. And then for it to go back to day, a player has to cast 2 or more spells during their own turn. And then when it goes back to day, all night side permanents will go back to their day side.
So are all the day and night-bound creatures double-sided?
Yes. They are all double face cards.
Interesting.
Not modal.
Modal?
Yeah, so like the Zendikar Rising lands that are like a spell on one side and a land on the other are modal, and you can pick which one. These are more traditional double face cards like werewolves in the past
Okay.
have been.
Makes sense.
So anyways, the card that we are currently talking about is Brutal Cathar. 2 and a white for a 2/2 creature, human soldier werewolf. So many types with Daybound. And when this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar, exile target creature and opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. Then on its night side, it is a 3/3 first strike werewolf with ward, pay 3 life, and Nightbound.
So you would cast this for the Brutal Cathar cost, and then if it's night, it would come in on this side?
Yep.
Okay.
So this will always cost 2 and a white when you're casting it.
Okay. But this tide is technically red.
Yes.
So technically to play this in a commander deck, you would need to be in Boros.
Correct.
Okay. Understood.
Alright.
See, I didn't know that about Avacyn when I first built her, so I built her mono white, and then she flipped to red, and I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's fine. That was my first commander deck. I'm
Yeah,
always stupid.
I had a similar problem when the first Innistrad came out with Garruk Relentless. Because on his front side, he's just green, and on his back side, he's green-black. And then I put it in a green commander deck, and somebody's like, you can't do that, it's green-black. It's like, but it's green. And I was sad.
We learn.
Yeah.
We grow.
But this card, I think, is another one that I could see play in Modern. It's definitely going to see play in Standard, probably Historic, potentially Pioneer. I think it's going to see Modern sideboard play in Humans, which is already a deck that kind of exists. It's a Hate Bears-ish deck. Mm-hmm. So you just play a lot of creatures that mess with your opponent's stuff. And this exiles creatures and transforms into a side with protection.
I'm going to say it would, because he's technically not leaving the battlefield when he transforms, so they're not getting their stuff back.
Correct. Which means that if you can keep flipping day-night, you can actually hold multiple creatures on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
My one problem, though, is that I don't know that I've seen a lot of white-red werewolf decks. It's usually green-red.
Yeah, this set has had werewolves spoiled in both white and black.
So basically,
Everything but blue so far.
somebody might be able to figure out 4-color. Actually, everything but blue?
So far.
Saskia werewolves.
If that's what you want to do. I was just thinking Marathon werewolves.
Right, but there's no blue, so you'd really just be doing blue for the card draw and the counter spells.
Sounds good to me.
I'm just saying, Saskia werewolves.
I'm the wrong audience for that to be a problem.
I understand that, but like, I don't really see splashing in another color that you don't need if you don't need it.
That's fair.
Especially now that we've got, card draw in the other colors. We've got it in white, we've got it in green.
Do you think that in a non-werewolf deck, this is good enough for Commander?
If you're playing a lot of exiling, or if that's like your thing, if you like a combination Hate Bear and Pillow Fort, maybe, because that's exactly what this is. It's hateful. It's exiling a bunch of things rather than just one. It could also go in a blink deck if necessary. Like, you're not blinking your own stuff, but you're blinking their stuff, and then... I mean, you're not blinking their stuff. You're stealing their stuff, and then maybe you want to blink it for a reason. I don't know.
My concern is that in Commander, the backside of it, with Ward of Pay 3 life, doesn't seem like it matters.
Right.
Like, if they want to kill it in Commander, 3 life is nothing.
Right.
So, I think it's a lot weaker there. So.
There are ways to, like, build on ward, though. If they come out with other werewolves that, like, ward all of your werewolves the way that we have it in Merfolk,
yeah,
then it can get a little worse because then it's, like, ward with life and also with mana, and then it's getting to the point where it's just getting a little costly to do.
Okay, I could see that. I always get a little hesitant when it's just Fiend Hunter type effects where it's just exile your thing until this leaves, and it's just a 2/2 or a 3/3.
Right.
It just seems a little too easy to get rid of in Commander.
Right. Which, I mean, you know, this is in Boros. It's not necessarily not going to be in an artifact deck. So, like, you're going to put equipment, and then you can put equipment on it to make it better.
Oh, that's fair. I could totally put this in my 3-color equipment deck.
Right, because it is Boros, which is most equipment decks.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where I'll put it, even though I'm leaning more towards cats for my equipment. Even though I already have a cat deck, I just can't be stopped with the tribes.
I got it. I'm gonna play it 4-color soldiers. Yeah.
Tapped lands are the bane of my existence. So I like that they're doing something new with lands that enter tapped so that I can get my dual colors. So let's take a look at Haunted Ridge and the rest of this set.
So this is a cycle of ally color lands. So
real quick, what are the ally colors for those of us that aren't up to date on these things?
red black, red green, green white, white blue, and blue black. Up on the screen we have the red black one, Haunted Ridge, and these all enter the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. So if it's your 3rd land or later, it's an untapped land. Before that is a tap land. So I think in 60 card formats this will see play in standard because you just want whatever fixing you can get. Might see play in historic because we don't have a ton of dual lands yet, but even then I don't think it's good enough because we have shocks, checks, and pathways.
I think this is gonna work. Gosh dang it.
I don't think it's good enough in any other 60 card format because the first 2 turns become more critical the further back you go, and it being a tap land until your 3rd land is a little too risky, I think.
I think it's going to take the place of a lot of the other tap lands, even the ones that enter and gain you a life, just because, you know, you don't want to wait that extra turn for your other color. Let's say that you've got 3 red and you were dying for that black, and you get this one.
Yeah, this is going to be great in Commander, I think.
If it doesn't see play, I'll be surprised.
It's okay, you'll never be surprised because I'm going to put these in all of my decks where they go.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sold. I already bought my foils.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Especially for this one, I need it for Kalia for max value. I do have one more thing.
Yep.
I could see in slightly older formats like Pioneer and potentially Modern, the 2 blue ones might see play because of control decks that really want to always have both blue and white or blue and black.
Mm-hmm.
Those are usually your traditional control colors. Sometimes blue-red, but we don't have one. So I could see this being like a 1 or 2 of in Pioneer or Modern control decks. I definitely don't see it in Legacy or Vintage. But.
Death touch, death touch, death touch. We need more death touch always. And death touch in green, you won't see me complaining. So let's take a look at, I can't pronounce it, you go.
Sereth the Viper's Fang.
Yeah, I would have figured it out eventually. Other tapped creatures you control have death touch. Now, tapped creatures? Why is that important, Kevin?
One of the primary functions of declaring an attack is tapping.
So granted, you don't want to put this in something with vigilance, but death touch. Other untapped creatures you control have hexproof. Hexproof. Words are hard, guys. Pay 1 and tap it. Untap another target creature or land you control. Still, you're gonna attack, get death touch, and then untap it, and make it hexproof. And you're keeping your stuff safe.
And the one thing that I have to bring up for this card is that I am going to play with Craterhoof so many times to give Trample and Death Touch to my entire board and kill people.
You know what I didn't do?
What?
I didn't say that it's 2 green and it's a 3/4 because I'm really bad at this.
And it's a legendary human warlock.
Yeah, warlock. Is that new? Do we have other warlocks?
I believe it was definitely in the D&D set, and I believe it was introduced in Strixhaven.
That's fair. That sounds accurate. But look at that art.
Oh yeah, I love that art for Sereth. I love the alternate art Equinox frame, I think they're calling it.
Is this the first Sereth that we've ever seen, or
yes.
Is this a new? Okay, so this is a new legendary creature.
Yeah, she's a new character. I don't know her lore yet.
So excited to read about that. I love lore, and I love green creatures, and I love Death Touch.
Yeah, I want to know why she's the Viper's Fang. That's a cool title.
Look at it. She's like Medusa Light, and I'll take it.
Yeah.
If you don't know this about me, Shadows over Innistrad was the first set that I bought for myself, and I was very into Death Touch because I thought that Death Touch was like the greatest thing ever. This is all of my things. I don't think I'd play this as the commander, but I can see where other people would, because I feel like it's just missing out on that black, and I would like to see this in Golgari, but like I get it.
On the other hand, I have a deck that I've been kind of working on with Vigilance Matters, and I think that's actually going to be kind of cool with her to give my entire board hexproof.
Right, but there are other ways of giving your entire board hexproof.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in green. Or especially if you're in green-white, because there's privileged position.
In green, I have asceticism as well, but this is redundancy.
That's fair. It's always nice to have that little bit of extra oomph.
Yeah. And I really value hexproof. I think I actually value it on this more than the Death Touch, but I'm probably going to win with the Death Touch more often.
Now, here's a commander question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
If you were building mono-green Death Touch, are you building... Say her name again?
Sereth.
I'll figure it out eventually. Sereth or Finn?
Sereth with Finn in my 99.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I would do it as well. Because, like, just... mwah!
Because then I can just play Sereth and play good creatures instead of playing Finn and having everything already have Death Touch. Because if you're playing Finn as your commander, then Sereth giving your things Death Touch shouldn't matter because all of your creatures probably have Death Touch. Except for, like, Craterhoof and Craterhoof Lights that you're probably playing.
You know, it's ironic because I've been holding on to Finn to build the Finn deck, and now I don't think I'm going to because, I mean, Lady Commanders are kind of like my go-to. I love, as a Lady player, having Lady Commanders. Yeah. Tristani, Tishana, you know, all the ones. I'm blanking on my own stuff. Kalia. Lady Commanders. Mwah, love it.
So now you have a better Finn to put Finn in.
Yes.
Also,
I'm surprised you're not ruining this for me like you do all the other things.
Oh no, I'm really excited for this card. I love it. Yeah. I'm going to put it in Atraxa Infect too. Give all my Infect creatures Death Touch. My Blightsteel Death Touch.
I swear to God, if there is a Craterhoof in your Atraxa deck, we're going to fight.
Alright. So, here's the way to figure out if there's a Craterhoof in my deck. Is it green? Does it get into combat? If the answer to one or both of those is yes, Craterhoof's probably there.
Save me.
Craterhoof's awesome.
Help me. Help you. Beat the shiz out of him in a commander game.
Also, if anyone wants to try to convince me to stop playing Craterhoof, feel free. We got a better Faithless Looting. It costs 2 mana now, but it doesn't matter because it's an instant. We got a better Faithless Looting.
That was the card that everyone had the ugly art, right?
Yeah, for the Mystic Archive. It had a really bad art.
I hated it.
But this is Faithful Mending. I see what they did there. White-blue for an instant with flashback of 1 white-blue. You gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, and discard 2 cards. So, my only problem with this is that it's not blue-red. because Faithless Looting was a red card, but this is like mending after the Faithless Looting, so I get it.
Right, I mean, having life gain makes sense in white. The discard, though, sounds red, so I don't understand why it's not like the flashback cost has red-blue rather than white-blue. That way it can be all three colors. Like, it could have been different, but I also understand why it is the colors that it is.
But I think this is going to at least have a chance to see play in every 60-card format, even back to Legacy. Probably not Vintage. I don't think Looting sees play in Vintage. But I could see Legacy decks that might not have red but want Looting play this. Being 2 mana on the front instead of 1 is a little annoying, but it's still 3 to flashback. And it got instant and gained 2 life because it's 2 mana now, so I am so happy for this card. Looting got banned in Modern and it crushed me. And now now we have a new Looting. I'm gonna try it.
I like the flavor text too. What has been looted can be restored. The church lives on within us. Not so much a fan of that second line, but that first line is on point, and I'm here for it. I'm here for the flavor.
Yeah. It's probably gonna see playing Commander, right?
Probably.
It's an instant speed draw spell. They're usually good.
Plus, you gain life. Like, the only thing that's bad about it is discarding, and there are ways around getting your graveyard back. There's ways about putting things in your graveyard that you want to.
Hey, at least this is not in the colors for Nethroy.
Yeah, no thanks.
Not much more to say here. This card's excellent, and I love it, and it puts a smile on my face to see.
I look forward to you going through all of the cards that I buy and pulling all of these out for yourself.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna have like 100 of them.
I think the only Azorius deck I'll ever build is Quain, so I can't imagine needing this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have so many of these.
And now we're gonna bring in a special guest. Everyone, a round of applause for...
Everyone say hi to my gorgeous wife.
Dude, did you forget the transition I just did?
No.
Give a round of applause for, and then her.
We are so good at this. So professional. Top notch. Right, babe?
Oh, yeah.
She
has to edit this later. You monster.
Yep. We're going to leave all of this in.
Of course you are. You don't have to do that. You can just fix it later.
Yes, you do. It'll be really fun.
Anyway, our wife.
This is not Soviet magic. She is my wife. My wife. Anyways, we brought her on because she's a huge fan of werewolves. So, we thought we would talk about a few of the werewolf-centric cards.
You're aware of Daybound and Nightbound, yes?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so let us tell you about the Celestus. It's a 3-mana legendary artifact. And it says, if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as it enters the battlefield. You tap it to add 1 mana of any color. You pay 3 and tap it, and if it's night, it becomes day, otherwise it becomes night. Activate only as a sorcery. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you gain a life, you may draw a card, and if you do draw said card, you discard a card. How do you feel about that?
I like it. I see some problems with it if other people are playing it. You're trying to keep your werewolves flipped, but, I mean...
Well, they can only activate as a sorcery, which means
True.
they can't do it on your turn or in the middle of your battle.
Fair enough.
Kevin, you had some problems with this?
I have a couple of problems. I don't like 3-mana artifacts that tap for only 1 mana. I think this is an exception. It does enough that I would play it through that. I don't like, however, that, unfortunately, what she does like, that it's sorcery speed only for changing from day to night and night to day.
I think that as the werewolf player, you're going to appreciate that it's sorcery, and as the playing against the werewolf player, you're going to wish it was instant speed.
Exactly.
I'm mostly thinking of it as the playing a deck that likes to draw cards when I have nothing better to do. So
fair.
I'm mostly wanting to put this in decks where it's like, oh, the day-night doesn't matter. It's just 3 mana to gain a life, draw a card, and discard.
That's fair.
But
Also that art, though.
Yeah, that art is
That's
pretty
so
gorgeous.
beautiful. I like the sunset in the background, and it looks like something just blew up with all the dust and the smoke.
Look like you want to say something.
I mean, it is in the middle of the werewolves area.
I look forward to the lore on this as well.
One other thing that I do like about this is that it makes mana of any color, which is really nice considering that we now have 4 colors of werewolves.
Yeah, I'm building
Yeah.
Saskia werewolves.
It's
So now it'll help you, since werewolves are still base red-green,
Yeah.
it'll help you get that white or black mana if you're playing the splash colors.
If like the last thing that they spoil is a blue werewolf, I'm gonna cry.
I'm going to be excited.
it'd be nice.
No, it's just gonna be funny that like they held it off until like the very end. Also,
That-
aren't we getting another set of this?
Yes,
Yes.
Crimson Vow is coming out
Blue
in
werewolves in
November,
that
I
one.
think.
Okay, we're getting blue werewolves in November.
That one's going to be more focused on vampires, but
yeah.
that doesn't mean that there won't be werewolves.
I could be wrong, but it would be funny if they like don't give us any blue werewolves until the next one.
Alright, babe. I'm pretty sure this is one of your favorite planeswalkers. You will not let me not think about this card.
Nope.
We have Arlen the Pax Hope. 2 red-green for a legendary planeswalker Arlen with Daybound, Nightbound. And on its day side, it starts at 4 loyalty. +1 until your next turn, you may cast creature spells as though they had flash. Each creature you control enters the battlefield, an additional +1/+1 counter on it. And -3 to create 2/2 green wolf tokens. And then on its backside, it's Arlen the Moon's Fury, Nightbound. +2, add red green, and 0 until in a turn becomes a 5/5 werewolf with trample, indestructible, and haste.
Okay, now normally I don't like planeswalkers that turn into creatures, but like, yes, yes, I appreciate this.
Yeah, my first thought when I saw this was, okay, I want to already be on Nightbound, and I just want to play this and immediately 0 and just attack for 5.
Right.
Yeah.
My thing is though, if they don't make a poster of the Daybound art, I will cry.
Yeah, I want like a poster of the Daybound, Nightbound side together.
Oh, that would look awesome.
I just care about the Daybound
Like,
side. Like I have problems with this art, and it's just me. That art though, that art I live for. I would get that art and I would make it into a diamond painting, and it would be beautiful.
I suppose for 60 card formats, it'll probably see standard play. Probably won't go any further than that. Most formats get hostile to planeswalkers
Yeah.
pretty quickly. And at 4 mana, 4 loyalty, I don't think Daybound Nightbound is going to impact super far back, which means you're not going to get the immediate play it as a 5/5 mode.
We were talking earlier about whether or not this would be the good Arlen if you were going to build Arlen Oathbreaker.
What do you think about that, babe?
With her flip side, she would be better for an Arlen or Oathbreaker deck because the original one, she makes wolves and she makes them bigger.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically all she's useful for. This one would, if you have the Nightbound, her coming in, dropping that 0, comes in and attacks for 5. I mean, you're good. I mean, she's indestructible, she has haste, she has trample. If they don't have anything on turn 4 to block this, they're taking 5.
My problem with this in Oathbreaker is that because it is technically a 60 card format, it is a little bit faster than Commander, so to get to that nobody casting any spells during their turn, to get it to become night is going to be a little harder.
Yeah. I actually also like it as an Oathbreaker commander, but for the day side, because I would probably play it in like a red-green efficient creatures deck, where I just want to play her, use the +1, give all my stuff flash, and just start playing creatures on my opponent's turn, messing up combat. Probably use Savage Summoning as my signature spell, which is just her +1, but it also makes the creature uncounterable.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas I'm on the other side of this, and I'm not going to play her as the Oathbreaker, but I do want to put her in my Xenagos Second Harvest deck, because she makes tokens, and
Yeah.
I like tokens, and also she makes mana. And basically I could replace 2 of my Planeswalkers that's all they do is make mana and switch her in and maybe something else that's good. Because I just want to make tokens.
And this gives me a new red-green Oathbreaker deck, so I'm not playing Ren and people get angry at Ren.
Well, that's a story for another day.
Agreed.
And also there's 2 Rens now, so now you can't even just say that I played Ren.
Well, there's only one red-green Ren.
Well, that's fair, but, you know, this context, sure, it makes sense. But other context, when you say, yeah, I played Ren and it made people mad,
Fair.
I'm sure it'll still work both ways, but...
Yeah, I'm sure both will make people mad. Do you have anything else for this one for Arlen, babe?
No.
Alright, it's time to move on to our last card.
So, how does it feel to finally have a good commander for your werewolf deck?
I'm excited about it. I mean, I had Werewolf Commander for a while and didn't go nowhere with it, so I tore it apart. But now that we have Tolval here, it's going to be something I'm looking at doing again. I mean, because he is awesome.
So this is Tovalar, Dire Overlord. 1 red-green for a legendary human werewolf. He's a 3/3 with Daybound, Nightbound. His day side, whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves and or werewolves, it becomes night, then transform any number of human werewolves you control.
What? Okay.
And then on his night side, he is
Gets
a
short.
4/4. He does get a bit short, actually.
Just
He
get
looks
stubby.
so small.
He's
Look
still-
at their back legs. They're not in proportion to his front legs.
He still has the whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And then he also has X red-green. Target wolf or werewolf you control gets +X/+O and gains trample until end of turn.
I'm sorry, does he get the Kessig Wolf Run
Yeah.
ability?
Yeah, he is a Kessig Wolf Run in your command zone.
Okay, but okay, so I'm excited that it's target and he doesn't have to tap. Because if it was target and he tapped, I'd be a little disappointed. So this is gonna be fun. But also, just look at that. Go back, go back, go back, go back.
Yeah? Yeah.
It's opposite T-Rex arms. He's got T-Rex legs.
Here's the thing about Tolvar, though. He keeps his weapon when he transforms. No other werewolf has ever kept the weapon they've had in their hand when they transform.
Yep.
That's why he's the Overlord.
Yeah.
Got little bitty legs though.
So, how do you like that you can just... So let's say on your opponent's turn, they cast 2 spells, change it to daytime, so you get, like, your Hunt Master trigger, things like that.
Oh,
And then you also
yes.
get, oh, okay, well, I still control 3 or more werewolves. They just go back,
That is awesome.
get you.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of day night, day night, day night, day night, day night.
And then if you have the Celestis, you're going to gain so much life, draw so many cards.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this deck's going to be sweet.
I am looking forward to it.
It's gonna be a beautiful deck, and I can't wait to see you play this deck on Mage's Space. I was blanking on the name, and nobody helped me. Thanks, guys.
I was
I didn't
giving
know
you
where
a
you were going
second.
with there.
They were just gonna let me sit in agony trying to figure out the name of things again. I look dumb.
I mean, it's up there with my favorite tribe. So, I mean, dragons is my tribe all the way, but werewolves, it's up there.
So does it go like dragons, dinosaurs, werewolves? Or...
Dinosaurs and werewolves probably be neck and neck because I love my Zakama, and I'm pretty sure as soon as I get to actually built this, he's probably going to push Zakama down. And they're going to be competing with
now that werewolves actually have support.
competing with dragons.
They had a commander before. They have Ulrich. He exists.
You want to smack him, or do you want me to do it?
Do I need to smack you?
I didn't say he was good. I said he exists.
He was not a good commander.
No. And as far as 60 card formats go, I don't think he'll be pumping a lot of werewolves. Like, I don't think he'll ever get his 3 or more wolves or werewolves make it night effect. Probably going to be pumping himself if he can. I don't actually remember. Yeah, target werewolf. So he can pump himself. I think he is going to see some standard play because he's a potential 3 mana 4/4 that can really hurt.
Yeah.
And he's just efficient. But I think he's just a commander all-star.
Oh, for sure. I look forward to seeing all of the werewolf wolf decks that are about to come out.
Also, now that you pointed out his tiny legs, I cannot look at that backside.
You're welcome. That's not what you should be looking at on the backside anyway.
So,
Let's
are you excited?
I am. I'm really excited.
But
If she doesn't pull one, you better buy her one.
yeah, if she doesn't pull one, I think
See-
I have to buy her a foil Equinox one.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think I probably
Or
have to
both.
anyways.
The one I want is the most is the alternate art for this. It's beautiful.
He doesn't like the alternate art on the Arlen, and I think he's wrong.
I don't like the borderless
The
one. I
borderless
like
one
the
is what he
Equinox
does not
one.
like. He likes the Equinox one.
It's good. I like the borderless one. It's pretty.
I do too. He's wrong. He's right to be wrong. He's
I think
a
it's a
man.
girl thing. I think it's because the borderless one is a little more feminine that we appreciate it.
Yes.
And he's just like, no,
Yeah,
big buff girls.
I do. I do like big buff girls. You're not gonna get me to do the thing.
What's the thing?
I'll show you in a minute.
Yes.
You're not going to make him beatbox?
No.
Oh.
No.
You're going to do that again?
No, the editor gets to see that beautiful video later when she's editing.
Oh yay!
So everybody, yeah, you get to meet our editor for the first time.
Hi.
But we appreciate you tuning in, and there'll probably be more spoiler videos as more things get spoiled, and definitely more for the next sets. So stay tuned for that.
And if you have any cards that have already been spoiled that you want us to talk about, feel free to leave them down below. We try to get them in another video, or we'll make TikToks for them. So, yeah. Bye.
Bye.